Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find some information about that in the description below. I'm offering a special for the month of May. So have a look if you're interested. All right, let's get started. We're going to jump right into the tarot cards, and we're doing a Celtic cross this week. Let's see, what's the energy around Leo? Okay, we're seeing the Ace of Swords come out in reverse for your current energy, Leo. So that sort of makes me feel, without seeing anything else, that you've got something to say. You've got a truth that you're holding in. You're keeping it to yourself. Let's see what the obstacle is for you with, okay, King of Cups. Interesting. So what that tells me, just by looking at these two cards in these two positions, is that there's something that you're keeping within. You're keeping something within, and it feels like the obstacle that you're facing when it comes to whatever this truth is an emotional obstacle. There's something here in the emotions with this King of Cups. It could be that you're trying to be patient, you're trying to be more loving, and as a result, you're keeping a truth in. So it's an interesting message, actually. It could be that you feel so much love towards something, or you're really trying to be patient with something, and as a result, you're keeping maybe your opinion to yourself, you're keeping something to yourself. It's as if your nurturing qualities, Leo, are guiding you to not speak about something at this time. Very interesting the way this message is coming through for you. It feels like by not speaking about something, or by keeping the truth inside, you're actually, it's almost like that's being motivated by love. It's almost that love is the obstacle here in speaking the truth. It almost feels like you might be worried that your opinion or your perspective on something might hurt someone's feelings, or might make them feel like you're putting pressure on them, or it might make them feel like there's no unconditional love here. So it's very interesting. Let's see what's top of mind for you. What's top of mind for Leo right now? The Four of Cups is top of mind. All this emotion. So the Four of Cups can be a time where we feel like we've missed an opportunity to perhaps be nurturing to someone. You may have felt like you wish you had sort of the foresight to have been nurturing in a situation, and now you're sort of thinking about it as a missed opportunity. So you're trying to make up for it, perhaps by keeping your thoughts to yourself, by holding back your opinion or your truth on something in an attempt to sort of be nurturing to someone else. This is interesting. It feels like, yeah, you're at the bottom of the reading here, at the base of the matter, it seems like you're trying to avoid a conversation with someone where they may sort of feel defeated or misunderstood. It's almost like you're being patient with someone, and you're letting them figure something out, even though you see it kind of clearly. It looks like it's like you can see what's happening because it's not your story. It almost feels like you're holding an opinion or a truth about someone else because you're trying to be nurturing. You don't want to make a similar, maybe a similar sort of action that you had taken in the past. And you're like, no, I'm going to keep this to myself, and I'm not going to have this conversation because it might not serve the situation ultimately. If my intention is love and patience, that seems to be holding you back. Let's look at the past influences here. Okay, past influences. Look at all of this. Wow. We're seeing a few indications here that, yeah, this could involve a family member, Leo. I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles with it, with the Nine of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. So in the past, you may have been sort of at a loss for really speaking out about something that was sort of clear to you as being not optimal, you know, and it may have involved a family member, and it may involve money with a family member. This almost feels like there could be a family member who's struggling financially around you, and you can sort of see one way where they could get out of their own way with that Nine of Wands and this Nine of Pentacles. It's almost like you can see a path for them, but it's like you may have spoken about this with them before, and it led to a situation where you felt a little bit of regret, where you sort of wish you hadn't have made your opinion so known to them, because it may have resulted in a conversation that didn't go smoothly. You know what I mean? They may have felt like you were sort of not on their side, not being supportive, not being patient. So it feels like in the past, you may have spoken out about something that you saw about someone else's pathway. It feels like family, could be a sibling, could be a child. Not like a child who's not an adult. It almost feels like an adult in the family who may be your child, or a sibling, or some relative. Could even be a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, you know, anybody in a family. It feels like here that in the past, when you did try to help them get out of their own way, it's almost like they didn't really appreciate that. It didn't empower them. If anything, it may have made them feel like they were at more of a loss. So you might be facing something this week where you sort of are trying to decide whether or not it's worth speaking your truth about something to do with someone else and their path. And you're sort of wondering, well, how do I be supportive and loving at the same time when I can see maybe where they could do things in a different way and have more optimal results? That can be a tricky place to find yourself, because, you know, it's gonna have to be about their own healing. And it's interesting, seeing the star come out as the energy for the upcoming future tells me that whatever's going on here, whatever you're not speaking about, is ultimately going to come out through your intentions are ultimately going to be revealed. And it feels like when they're revealing these intentions, when they come out, it's going to create some healing for you and for this person that you're focused on, because it's almost, again, the missed opportunity vibe is coming through again. It showed up with this Four of Cups, and now I'm seeing it with the Star card, and it almost feels like you could get an opportunity to say what you want to say to this person without it becoming sort of a moment that you reflect on later and think, I wish I had said something. I wish I had said what I think, because it may have been helpful for them. And it's interesting. It feels like this is a time where someone near you may be losing faith in themselves, and it feels almost financial. And for some reason, this reading is centered around what will you decide to do or say about this person that you really care about. This seems like a very specific reading, so if it doesn't resonate, check out your other placements. But this almost feels, Leo, like you have an opportunity to show support to someone in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're failing or that they screwed up. It's almost like you are going to show your support to someone by sort of offering them this unconditional love and support and patience that says, don't give up, you can do this. And it won't be like it was in the past. I feel like for some of you, this relationship may have sort of been in a very delicate place because of making your thoughts known and giving your advice and your opinions. I think you're going to do things in a different way. Isn't that interesting? There's the Queen of Cups in reverse. That's how you see yourself. So right now, it's almost like you see yourself in a way that's confused, like you're uncertain about what to do for the betterment of this person that you care about. You're not sure. There's a part of you that really wants to show them support and love, but there's also a part of you that really wants to guide them in a direction that feels like it would be more optimal somehow financially, or somehow in the material world, like something about their security, something about their identity, something about their root chakra, like something that's creating an instability for them. And it's like you really want to be there for them. You really want to support them, but you're holding back what you really think because you don't want them to be hurt. You don't want them to feel unsupported. And that's creating a bit of a dilemma for you in terms of, well, what do I do? Do I say what I think and how they should proceed? Do I give advice? Or do I just hold fast and hold space for them to figure it out, all the while being supportive of them and trying to build up their self-esteem rather than pointing out where they may have, in your opinion, done things in a way that's not optimal? This is interesting, actually. Let's see how you appear to the other person or the outside world. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. So it appears that you appear to this person sort of as like a helicopter parent, which is how I see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, is that she's at a place where she's focusing on other people's energy and maybe trying to solve problems for people because of her own sort of lack of willingness to look at herself when she's in reverse. And so her attention goes elsewhere because she doesn't want to look at herself. So she looks at the people around her to see how she can sort of be helpful and supportive, which makes her feel better about herself. So that's kind of how other people are seeing you right now, Leo. They're sort of seeing you as hovering, wanting to be of assistance, but it's almost like your words get taken too personally. And I think you know that. So that's why you're choosing your words carefully. And you may not be saying what you actually think or feel about a situation. And I think seeing the Two of Pentacles shows me that you're not sure how to proceed. And it's evident. It's evident that you want things to help. You want to help out with this Wheel of Fortune here. But it's like you're not sure how to do it without coming across as being critical or judgmental. So it's like this is a week for you to sort of do things in a different way in terms of how you give advice, guidance, and support to others, which may actually be reflecting back to you how you need support, guidance, and love from people, and how you need it from yourself. Ultimately, I feel like things are going to start moving in a direction for the person that's the focus on your mind right now. Things feel like they are going to start to move for them just by you holding space for them. And maybe not by telling them what to do. Maybe by allowing them to figure it out, but by being supportive, like, I got you, Don't be afraid of being unstable or insecure at this time because I'm here if you need me, without being like, this is what you have to do. You have to do the following things. It's almost like they just know that you're there, and so that they almost feel like, well, if someone has my back, maybe I can take a risk, and I can try something that I've been wanting to do, but they might just benefit from your energy of being supportive without you actually having to say a word. You know what I mean? And that could be very intriguing, very different way of doing things. Interesting. Your hope and fear here, we see the Death card. So I feel like your hopes and fears are wrapped up in how to create this transformation, and that it could be very sudden, that you could suddenly find yourself in a situation where this person may need you and you have to show up for them in a way that's different. And it's almost like this is really feeling like it's putting you in a position of transformation, not just them, both of you. It's almost like through their experience, you're both transforming. And through their experience, you're getting an opportunity to do things in a different way. Very interesting. Let's see what the potential outcome could be in this situation here. Page of Cups in reverse. That's very interesting. That makes me feel like whatever happens here is going to be transformative for you and this person. That this is mirroring all kinds of things for you, for them, for communication strategies, how to communicate with someone, how to be supportive with someone without enabling them, how to be supportive of someone without necessarily telling them your opinion, but just by holding space for them, by being a support without condition. You know, it's a very interesting reading for you this week, Leo. The bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. So I really think that there is going to be a satisfactory sort of conclusion here. You're going to be satisfied with how things go on an emotional level. I don't think you're going to be left feeling this energy anymore where you think you missed out on an opportunity to be sort of helpful to this person. And it really feels like the focus of your reading this week, Leo, is about how to be present for someone without enabling them or just jumping in and solving the issue for them, because it feels like you've done that before and it hasn't been an approach that led to empowerment for you or the person that you were sort of focused on. This is very interesting reading. Makes me feel like you and this person could have a new relationship as a result. It might be the kind of relationship that you've always wanted with this person, which is where that transformation and this Nine of Cups with the Page of Cups. It could be that you finally get the kind of relationship with this person that you've always wanted, where they come to you and they talk to you and they're honest about what's going on and you're there for them in a way that's helpful and that they benefit from what you have to offer, as opposed to feeling maybe judged or criticized. Not that you intended that. I think your intention was always to help, but sometimes our intention to help can get in the way of other people figuring things out for themselves, right? This is very interesting. It almost feels like I'm reading for a parent who's got an adult child or a child approaching adulthood or a child who's well into their adult life, but having a fundamental struggle that comes from not feeling like they are secure and stable. And as a parent, you're tempted to jump in and rescue, but you've tried that and it hasn't worked. It has only made them resent you a little bit. And so now it's like you're trying to have a different kind of relationship with them. It's very interesting. Let's see what oracle card you'll receive to close this reading. Oh, wow, look at that. It's soulmates. You guys, this is fascinating. This makes me feel like this is a contract between you and another person, and you have a lesson here. And that's where that reflective energy was sort of being felt earlier that I mentioned. Like, not only is this teaching them something, but this is teaching you something too. And I feel like we're seeing soulmates come through in the reverse because you guys have a sacred contract. You have a soul contract to serve each other in this lifetime in a way that in maybe in previous lifetimes there was a karmic debt created. And that could be why we're seeing the Wheel of Fortune as well, because you're sort of getting an opportunity to clear some karmic debt with this person and be there for them in a different way than in past lives or in past moments with them, you know. And if the idea of past lives doesn't resonate for you, think of it just as the past moments in this lifetime may have been based in conflict rather than support. And now you're sort of seeing it and you're wanting to look at it and be a support to someone who is very dear to you. There's a strong, strong connection between you and this person. It could be parent and child. It could be a friend. It could be a sibling. It feels like it's someone that is part of your family. Now, the term family, I mean, we can pick our own family, but it almost feels like for some of you, this is family, like the family you were born into. And seeing the card soulmate come through in reverse tells me that this is a powerful connection where old stories, old patterns that don't work, that haven't served this dynamic, are being looked at, called into question, and healed. So there is a sacred task here You were both here to help each other learn something uncomfortable and something that could be very transformative here. So the guidance here for you is to really feel intuitively what would be a different way to approach the same situation, because I feel like there's so much you can learn from each other here. Wow, what an interesting reading. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I really hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care. I'm sending you so much love.